Recording. 1, 2, 3. Recording. The Book of Alien. Let's open this guy up. See what we got. So, this is an old book. It's got quite cool art production from the film. And we've got a collection of designs on art by Ridley Scott and the usual suspects. Jean Giraud, Moebius, and I think Chris Foss. I can't remember, but this is one of the early books of the Alien production. As you can tell, I like Alien. It's an awesome film. So, Ridley Scott being the director, and the story was done by Dana Vannon and Ronald Shusett, and the screenplay was changed around by Walter Hill and I can't remember the name of David Gaylor. I can't remember. But yeah, anyway. So this production book has interesting stuff because this stuff, I think this is being reprinted not long ago. It would have been printed probably 3 years ago. Maybe before the pandemic or after the pandemic. I can't believe I just mentioned that, but yep. That's Dan in the dark. Ridley and one of the producers from the Lad Company. Gordon Carroll, yeah. So, this is cool. I thought it was Chris Foss, but no, it's Ron Cobb. So his pedigree is from Star Wars, obviously. So this man knows how to make spaceships. So, but look, the media that he's using here. I think these are markers with ink, mechanical pen, maybe a rapidograph. What he's doing here is that he's done his drawing and then penciled, and then probably he's just working with the markers. It's got marker all over it. So this is awesome. Again, that one, this could be probably acrylics as well. So, but he's doing the industrial design element of it, and this is cool. Practical industrial designs. This is the type of industrial design type of drawing that you do. And because he's in a production sort of line, he has to sort of give it to somebody who's going to be able to sort of build it in 3D, or maybe he did build it himself. Generally, that's what an industrial designer does. This might be Chris Foss. I always get mixed up with these dudes. But anyway, I haven't read these in a while, so it's been quite a while since I saw these. I'm adjusting the light. I'm sorry. I'm just... yeah, anyway. So again, if we see the detail of these, I wish this had been done a little bit of larger scale, and they would have focused less on the text. The book design of this, I don't know. I got my questions about it, but we would be able to sort of see the marker and the pencil. Quite cool. These are cool. This was what the Nostromo was supposed to be before. That's like an asteroid ship. Oh god. Anyway. Look at that antenna. It's awesome. Awesome designs. So here is kind of fleshing out more that the Nostromo is like a mining boat or ship or whatever you might be calling it. This gigantic thing that's floating around in the space carrying whatever ore that they have found. So here you can sort of see the detail of the brush. The mechanical pen, and then he's sort of like fleshing it out with this is industrial design, techniques, like how to render things. And this is quite cool designs. Yeah. more ink drawings, more see the marker, these sort of applying it on it, Copic markers. Yeah, these are Foss designs. This is Chris Foss. So he came from also from the Dune production. A lot of the Dune guys sort of came into the Alien production after Dune was Jodorowsky's Dune. Alejandro Jodorowsky's Dune was like could not go on because the cost of it was just too gargantuous, and nobody committed to the to finance this movie that was ahead of its time. God knows what would have that film been like. I mean, we all have seen the documentary. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and watch the documentary about the Dune film. What would have been, and you get to see Jodorowsky talking about it, and then you see the Jodorowsky production book, which is an epic Bible on its own, all pencil sketched out by Jean Giraud, Moebius, master comic book artist of all time, and accompanied by Giger's illustrations and Chris Foss spaceship designs. It's like a masterclass of master artists all working, collaborating to do the same, to work in that one project. And a lot of these guys sort of came in and started working on the production of Alien, because Dan O'Bannon was on part of that, a group of guys that were working on that film, on the Dune film, and he was kind of the one that brought in Giger into the to talk to Ridley Scott about the Alien. But anyway, let's just keep looking at this. This is quite beautiful, the way that we're looking at the illustration. So that's why I wanted to show this out, because the art is just top notch. Ink drawings again, beautiful stuff. I mean, the imagination that comes out, and I can't see designs like this in modern time. I can't recall anything new like now that would be as breathtaking as this. This is quite the production design. And see, this shows you can do this on pencil and paper. People don't need to use computers. I'm not having a go at that using computers, but I'm just saying, we should be working more with pencils and ink. It's all ink, paper there. But to all to their own. If you want to use a tablet, by all means. More beautiful pencils. I mean, more beautiful drawings, illustration. Yeah, Chris Foss. There you go, 1977. Ink. Because he was the dude. Chris Foss was like the guy. He did so many illustrations for trade paperbacks and what do you call science fiction spaceship books. So he was the man that you wanted to go like, hey, Chris, what do you think of doing? Well, how do you think this is going to look like? And he would go like, oof. Yeah. Blueprints. There's photography there. Again, it was showing like, you see, this is where they're fleshing out. They're going so out of their imagination that they're just looking at like a scenario, like some sort of accident, some sort of, damage has happened in the spaceship, and they're already working on like, what would have happened. So amazing work. This part of the Nostromo's, this Cobb's work. The inverted pyramid. More markers. Some of these markers back in the day, I remember they were very stinky. They had these very heavy alcohol sort of smell. Like, yeah, industrial design outlines, beautiful. And here's the model making and the photography that they're taking on it. This is on the studio set. The Nostromo. Awesome, just awesome. Production photography of the ship, or the landing party, the ship that goes landing down to see the stress signal. This is the interior designer. There's another element of this film is that obviously this is just after, or maybe simultaneously at the same time as Star Wars sort of comes out, it's lived in science fiction. Like, you can sort of see what living in a spaceship of this nature would be like. That's the next element of the film that makes you feel possible, the possibilities of it. And you can relate more with the characters. The interior design of this is just epic. That's Bilbo Baggins, Ian Holm. He's Ash, the android. Nobody knows that he's the android, but he's the android decoyed by the Whaling Wutani company. That's awesome. That's cool. That as well. Rough sketches. Too bad it doesn't mention that media that they used, but you can tell it's markers, Copic markers, and mechanical paints, rapidographs. This is more fleshed out. This has got acrylic on it for the interior design. That's awesome. Then the medical bay, where they sleeping, the sleeping quarters. This is Ripley, Ellen Ripley. Everybody's waking up after the long journey in space. And more interior design. The medical bay. Making the analysis that the aliens ingesting on Kane. Quite cool. So cool. That's awesome. Oh man, that's cool. I wish there was like a replica of this. I'll totally buy that. Making it would take probably would take 6 months to make, but yeah, I got the replica of the flamethrower. Awesome cast. Also, just a quick note, awesome cast. Loved all these actors, are the best. Just a classic film. This is so cool. Dallas. That's Dallas. Or first uniform, I guess. So Ridley could not help himself. Hiring Jean Giraud, Moebius, to come into production and do production designs for the film. I mean, he is the father of all of the science fiction stuff that we currently see, of the major franchises, and the European aesthetic of character design. It's very different. I mean, look at all the detail that Jean Giraud could achieve with just pen and ink on paper. Doing the character design of the astronaut of Dallas, I guess this is Dallas. He's even doing the face of the actor. Like the helmet. Look at this detail. It's so cool. Putting a star logo amongst the bolts and the sign of the shoulder pad. And then they actually made the final production helmet for Ripley. it's got all the details. It's got stars and whatnot on it. The design of it, it's just so cool. And it's functional. That's the other element of it, that it's just amazing. And sadly, this gets lost in the action of the film, and nobody's really paying attention to the beauty craftsmanship of this. And this is why I had to open this book up, because I had to share this. I had to sort of get it out of my chest. Not being able to talk about this sort of, the nerddom of talking about this sort of thing. So yeah, but look at this drawing, just beautiful, beautiful. Jean Giraud. By the way, Jean Giraud created some of his works is like the Metabarons, which is the epic science fiction saga, space opera by Alejandro Jodorowsky. So Jodorowsky, once he was not able to do Dune, he went to do comics, and he did the graphic novel series for La Metal Hurlant, or Screaming Metal, of a series of magazines, and they started publishing the Incal, and the Metabarons is like a prequel of that. I can't really remember. It's this series of comics that tell the story of where the Metabaron comes from, and yeah, which is part of the Incal universe. We'll talk about the Incal or Incal by Alejandro Jodorowsky eventually, but anyway, that's why I'm mentioning that, because these are the science fiction works of that. And also Dan O'Bannon did a short story, which is kind of like the precursor and inspiration to Blade Runner, that eventually Ridley Scott's going to direct after this film. So it's all part of the same soup of science fiction, which is cool. That's the actors having a smoke. Nice. Maybe having coffee. Maybe having tea break, because they shot this in England. And there's this astronaut suits, which are a little bit different from the concept when you look at it. It's a little bit different to the conceptual design. I think these ones are taking a little bit more from what Moebius has. Very chunky spacesuits. Whether this one's a little bit tighter. That's Ron Cobb's design, so. And it's again coloring marker with like ink drawing. A little bit of acrylic to do the star up there. Moebius. This is Moebius. This is Jean Giraud. Jean Giraud is doing his usual conceptual designs, which are awesome. This is just too cool. Beautiful drawings. This is so cool. Like the way that he's using the markers, the color, the splash of color onto it. So vivid. Brett. I want that hat. Totally want that hat of the Nostromo. And here are some of the ideas, the original conceptual ideas that they land and they go to a pyramid. And Chris Foss, I think, did this with some of the other guys. This is obviously like acrylic airbrush illustration. That's how he's blending all of that smoky atmosphere, the cloud, the cloud weather, whatever. And the pyramid, but I think that got removed because they went, yeah, we don't want to have this sort of thing. I remember hearing this from Walter Hill's interview on the Brady Easton Ellis podcast, and he was sort of talking about the production of Alien and how cool that was. I mean, how problematic it was to come up with the director, because everybody rejected the production. But originally they had a pyramid instead of the spaceship that had crashed on that planet, whatever the name it is of the planet. I always forget the number of the planet, and that's where they find the shipwreck. But these are the conceptual artwork by all of the other guys, This is the Jean Giraud concept, which is beautiful, but it doesn't look as eerie and horrible and scary as the one that that Giger did, later on. This is Chris Foss. And this is Cobb's. This is a Star Wars. This got such a Star Wars element to it. And this is how he envisioned the alien crypt, I guess. No space jockey at this time. I didn't come up with that idea. And then enter Giger. That's his concept, which I think I showed in another video before that. And yeah, so look, this is like Chris Foss or Cobb coming up with these epic pyramid looking things. The beauty of science fiction, honestly. And then you get Giger's abstract ideology. Again, more Jean Giraud. I don't know who did this, but so that's Foss, Chris Foss, and that's Jean Giraud, Moebius. Just with a tiny little movement. Look how much he gets expression of movement, which is a tiny little movement of the leg. It shows that the astronauts moving forward. Just awesome drawing. Such a small drawing is giving you such an epic scale to wherever he's going and the movement of that. Amazing. And this is the storyboard by Ridley, which really likes to imitate a lot of Jean Giraud's work. And this is what they see. The abstract designs of Giger of the spaceship. This visceral, bizarre design. Amazing work though. That's the spaceship, the concept of the spaceship. It's just of another world. And that's the man himself, that's Giger, working on it. And he ended up doing, what do you call it, production design for the stage, for the spaceship, for the interiors, everything, for where the eggs are going to be nesting, I guess. Absolutely amazing work. It's gigantic, the production of this. Gigantic. And the space jockey. I remember being a kid and going through this book and seeing this, and it just blew my mind how it went from that to that. I was like, what? That's the original space jockey idea and Ron Cobb's work, but it did not have the striking sensitivities that Giger brought on board of the production. And also seeing this photograph and seeing how big the camera set is and seeing the sculpture, that blew my mind when I was a kid. I was like, whoa, of epic scale. This book is always a lot of fun to go through it. Detail of the space jockey with dollars. And the ambiguity of what the space jockey might be. I don't know what that was. But all the bone work that Giger applied on things. Just amazing. The original concept for the aliens by Ron Cobb. It would have been hilarious if that would have been the alien. And here it is. Cobb's an abundance ideas, and here is Giger doing his biomechanical entity, that's the xenomorph, and the cycle of life on this pyramid. It's got the everlasting eye of Ra, and then it's like the Illuminati triangle. Anyway, pyramid, and then you got the ingestion egg, and then the astronaut comes in contact. It's the parasite on top of that, and then just ingests and kills him as he gets birth. Production egg by Giger. And it's got knuckles. It's these hands, creepy hands. I mean, the face hugger in the conceptual drawings, just scary. Just so scary. I always said that these concepts are scarier than the ones that the film ended up with. Unbelievable. And this is Chris, Cobb's alien design of how the xenomorph is supposed to look like. And this is what Ridley Scott went with. Which Giger in the documentary ended up mentioning that got rid of the nostrils and also the eyeballs or the eyes, so he just gave it this sort of one shell, so you don't know if he's looking at you or not, which make it more scary. It's very awesome airbrush work here. This is brilliant airbrush skills. This is how big the artwork is. Look at that. It's enormous. Enormous paintings. Amazing, just amazing. There's the Alien production. I've made a commentary about that as well, so take a look at that. This is the industrial design elements of it, making a mechanical, make it functional. Concept for the eggs. Such an iconic film. What a masterwork of a film. It still holds up how scary it is, and it's by far, in my taste, in my opinion, the best Alien. Obviously it was the first one, but it's always obviously the masterpiece that it is. The best of the series. That's an iconic pose for the xenomorph. And then he's flashed out. Flashed out of the ship. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I forgot about this photograph. Awesome, just awesome. Well, that's it. That's the film for the production of Alien. This was published, who knows when. Such a British book. British book. 79, wow. Alright, so there it is. The Alien, the Book of Alien. This was a treat. Thank you so much. Till next time.